What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bartlett Arborist Supply. In today's video, we are just going to be looking over the brand new, the unveiled, the DMM Nomad Plus work positioning lanyard. That is right. So the DMM Nomad comes just like that. It's a DMM Nomad without the director yoke and without the Fetus 6.5 millimeter ProSic thimble loop. The Nomad Plus comes with the director yoke. Matter of fact, let me show you right here. So DMM Nomad Plus comes with this director yoke and the Fetus 6.5 millimeter loop. All of the other Nomads come with this 8.5 Fetus ProSic cord designed specifically to work with their rope that they have here for this lanyard. Now, a couple things to know. Every single Nomad Plus variation in color, so you have the yellow, you have the orange, you have the blue, and you have the green. All of them have matching carabiners. So as you can see on my orange lanyard here, it has the orange director, orange Ultra O, and in their hitch climber pulley or the triple attachment pulley version 2, they have the same color rotating pulley, the sheave in there. So this one is yellow for the yellow one, and this one's orange for the mango orange. Now, there are some technical things to know. When you purchase the DMM Nomad Plus, it is certified and rated in its configuration, that how it comes in the box, the package. It is rated for a 2-person load system in the event of a rescue, and I'll show you how to configure that in a quick second. But it is certified to 3 hitches, so distal 5/1, then you have the Swabish 5/1, and then the VT 5/2 in its configuration. Now, DMM Nomad Plus, so as you can see here, oh, and one more thing. At the end of their lanyard here, even though they have a sewn eye, they are requiring us to tie a double overhand as the stopper here. So this is a must. It has to be in the lanyard configuration as well. Now, I've been running the 11.8 millimeter version. This Nomad yellow over here, this Nomad Plus, is the 12.8. Now, I personally like to run the smaller diameter. It's lighter. It's easier for me to handle and flick, move around. This one's just easier to grip. There's nothing bad with this, but for me, the 11.8 mil is my go-to. Now, things you can do with the Nomad, right? You can still do standard configuration. So if I need to go out here and set my system up in a moving rope system, I can go to the second ring I have here. So long as I find a suitable branch union around here. So if I just needed to go there to kind of triangulate that position, you know, it's still rated to use in this configuration. Now, however, this exact setup right here, I've connected it back to my second bridge directly onto that suspension point. This would give me the most optimal position right here. You know, I'd still be very comfortable. I can pivot, turn, do what I need to do. And also, if we did need to change this setup right here to a stationary rope system lanyard, you can still do so thanks to that Fetus loop. Now, one of the things I did to store it, I don't like my loop here floating around and moving about and keeping loose. I like to keep it tighty towards the end. So I've taken an accessory carabiner, screw gate to be more specific on that. And I had to finagle it a little bit, but it's fine. I like it that way. But it stays, and I clip it back to the sewn eye where the director yoke is. It's nice having the director yoke on there, because you really don't have any side loading potential. It stays exactly where it needs to. But for this point right here, it also adds that little bit of extra weight. So when I need to flip it around something, it helps me out. It goes around with a little bit more gusto, right? But again, if I need to go to a single line configuration, Fetus loop goes around, and now I can utilize the entire length of my lanyard. Well, almost the entire length, but like till I butt up over here. And now I have a little bit more length to play with. For me, the 5/2 VT configuration or hitch configuration is what works the best for me. I mean, I guess if you get one, you'll have to mess around with it yourself and dial it in for your liking. The VT on this, and I know most of the times when I talk to people about the VT on a Lanyard, they don't typically care for that sit back of it, but with the 5/2, it's so tight that I really don't have any sit back. It stays where I need to. Another thing to note too, if your Prusik here, the Fidus 8.5 mil, slips when you are loaded into it, two things. Either retie, reconfigure, make sure that everything's tied, dressed, set correctly, or you might have to retire it if you've had it for a while, been running it, and it's starting to slip on you. It's time to retire that. Now, for the 2-person load rescue, which intrigued me a lot because I never thought to do this, and it caught my attention immediately when I was reading the instructions on it, and they said 2-person load rated. So it is 660 pounds for the 2-person load rating, which is wow. Now, let me just configure this back to how it was. Nice, tight, just how I like it. Yeah. Get one loop in here. Okay. Gonna button up. This is gonna come off. I still have yet to put accessory carabiner on this one. All right, we're gonna go that way. Kick the butt back into it. Whoop. Now, I've got a moving rope system here. With the Nomad Plus, you can use this rescue configuration with a stationary rope system onto it. However, you have to tie a big figure 8 on a bite to get it to go through both of the carabiners, because in order to set it up for rescue, so if I was working with, let's say, Dominic, because he's out here with us today, and he was to get injured or whatever happens, he faints, you know, because he got a little too winded. Hi, I'm just kidding, Dom. Never happens to you, right? I like poking a little bit of fun. We all do that every once in a while. Now, this is the part that intrigued me the most about it, and I thought it was super dope. So this is gonna go around just like a cambium saver, right? Just like a friction saver. And again, I never really thought to do it this way. And I was like, whoa, I never thought that for rescue. So just like that, right? Hope you guys can see that. Just like that. And per the instructions on DMM for this system, they want you to tie an alpine butterfly no further than 10 centimeters, right? From there. Oh, wrong way. I'm gonna go over just like that. So when I load, it's gonna kind of stretch in a bit. There we go, I'm comfortable with that. And you know what, just for good measure, because I get used to spiking my stuff, I'm gonna take this carabiner off for a quick second. Ooh. Yoink. Now I'm just gonna spike it. You may not need to, but it makes me feel better if I did. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Can we cut that? All right, it never landed on the ground. It stayed up here with me, okay? I might have passed out if I actually dropped it down to the ground. It's such beautiful gear. So it goes around branch union, okay? We're back here, back to square friction saver, cambium saver style. This time, you're gonna stay, right? I've already switched this to my second bridge on suspension point. And I'm gonna pass carabiner. I don't think that's gonna go through. We'll just open up, go like that. All right. And now if I needed to rescue somebody down low, I'm gonna do a load transfer. All right. Anytime you do something like this, load transfer systems, You definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention to how it's going to actually sit. So like here, I caught myself a little bit. I'm going to extend so that the hitch isn't so close to the branch or the stem. All right, I'm just gonna reconfigure the Alpine a little bit lower and drop the actual hitch down to it so that I am within spec. Spiking, old habits die hard there. Okay, I'm a little more comfortable with that. So now I can, oh yeah, that's making me feel a lot better there. So now I can detach from this rope since I've load tested in. You know, I've completely taken my load off. That's free and I'm here. And now if I need it to come down and rescue somebody, I can descend down, get to the victim. Hey Dom, I know you passed out. I'm here to help you. This, that, and the other, do our patient assessment, do everything that we're trained to do. And then we're going to safely bring that person down, especially if their system's compromised, right? And I need to bring them down on this system. You know, you incorporate friction, do the necessary steps in order to safely rappel down to the ground with a second victim on your system. Again, this has been the DMM Nomad Plus. If I spoke a little too fast, it's just because I'm excited about new gear. But hopefully you guys picked up what I was laying down. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like, to subscribe. Download the Bartlett Arborist Supply app, App Store, Google Play. Let us know what you think. If you've picked one up, let us know what your thoughts are about the system. And yeah, we'll see you around. Next one.